Every dangerous weapon in history has one thing in common. It never decided who to destroy. The person holding it did. A sword doesn't choose its enemy. A gun doesn't pull its own trigger. Even the most powerful bomb in human history was nothing more than a piece of metal, until someone decided to use it. So what makes a weapon dangerous? The weapon or the mind controlling it? Now think about the most powerful weapon you'll ever possess. Your mind. Unlike every weapon ever created, your mind has the power to create or destroy every part of your life. It can build discipline or excuses. It can create confidence or fear. It can turn an ordinary person into someone history remembers or trap them inside a life they never wanted. The scary part is, most people spend years learning how to use technology, how to make money, how to build careers. Yet they never learn how to understand the very thing controlling every decision they make, their own mind. And that's why most self-improvement fails. Because people are trying to improve someone they've never truly understood. Imagine building the world's tallest building on a cracked foundation. No matter how beautiful it looks, it will eventually collapse. Self-improvement without self-awareness is exactly the same. You can wake up at 5 in the morning, read 100 books, meditate every day, work harder than everyone else. But if you're moving in the wrong direction, you're only becoming better at living someone else's life. So today, I'm not going to teach you how to become more productive. I'm not going to tell you another morning routine. Today, we're going to answer a question that almost nobody asks honestly. Who are you? Because once you truly understand the person holding the weapon, everything else becomes easier. Chapter 2. The question that changes everything. Most people think finding yourself begins with traveling the world, reading hundreds of books, or waiting for some magical moment of clarity. It doesn't. It begins with a single question. A question so simple that most people ignore it. Who am I? At first, your brain immediately answers. My name is, I am a student. I am an engineer. I am an introvert. But those aren't answers. They're labels. If tomorrow you lost your job, would you stop existing? If nobody remembered your name, would you become a different person? Of course not. So who are you without the labels? Now I want you to try something tonight. Before sleeping, sit somewhere completely alone. No phone, no music, no distractions, just you. And ask yourself, who am I? Don't rush to answer. In fact, don't answer at all. Just ask the question again and again and again. At first, your mind will wander. You'll think about tomorrow, your homework, your notifications, random memories. You'll probably feel uncomfortable. Most people stop here. They think, this isn't working. But that's exactly why they never discover themselves. Because for the first time in years, there's no one else speaking. No teacher, no parents, no Instagram, no YouTube, only your own mind. And when the noise disappears, something fascinating starts happening. Memories you had forgotten begin returning. Moments from childhood suddenly appear. Old dreams come back. Certain conversations refuse to leave your mind. You begin noticing things that were always there, but hidden beneath years of distraction. It's almost like cleaning a dusty mirror. The reflection was always there. You simply couldn't see it. But asking one question isn't enough. Questions create clues. And if you learn how to collect those clues, you'll slowly begin seeing a pattern that has been following you your entire life. That pattern is where the next chapter begins. Chapter 3. Enter the door. Now you've asked yourself the question, who am I? But asking the question is only the beginning. The real answers don't come overnight. They reveal themselves through patterns. Think about it. Every detective solves a mystery by collecting clues. One fingerprint means nothing. One footprint means nothing. One witness isn't enough. But when all those clues are connected, the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Your purpose works exactly the same way. Most people expect purpose to suddenly appear one day. It doesn't. It quietly leaves clues throughout your entire life. Maybe as a child you loved building things. Maybe you always enjoyed helping people solve their problems. Maybe you were fascinated by technology. Maybe you were always observing people instead of talking. At that time, those moments felt ordinary. But years later, when you connect them together, they begin telling one story. That's why I want you to write everything down. Every interest, every childhood memory that keeps returning, every activity where you completely lose track of time, every moment that made you feel alive. Don't judge those moments, just collect them. At first, they will seem random, but after weeks, or even months, you'll notice something strange. They aren't random anymore. They're connected. When I started this journey, it didn't take me one day. It didn't even take 1 week. It took me months. There were days when I thought I was wasting my time. Days when I found nothing. But I kept asking. I kept writing. I kept connecting the dots. And eventually, I started understanding myself in a way nobody else could. Remember this. Your purpose isn't hiding from you. It's leaving clues every single day. You're simply learning how to see them. And once you begin seeing those patterns, something inside you starts changing. Not your circumstances, you. Chapter 4. The conversation that changes everything. The more you understand yourself, the more you'll notice something else. There's a voice inside your head, a voice that has been speaking every single day. Sometimes it encourages you, sometimes it destroys you. The problem is, most people never question that voice. They assume every thought they have is true. It isn't. Let me ask you something. Imagine your best friend failed an important exam. Would you tell him, "You're useless. You'll never succeed. Give up"? Of course not. You would encourage him. You would tell him to learn from his mistakes, to improve, to keep going. So why? Do you speak to yourself in a way you would never speak to someone you love? That's why self-talk matters. Because the person you talk to the most is yourself. Your words slowly become your beliefs, and your beliefs slowly become your reality. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," ask, "What skill am I missing?" Instead of saying, "I always fail," ask, "What can I learn from this?" One question keeps you trapped, the other helps you grow. Slowly, your inner voice stops becoming your biggest enemy and starts becoming your greatest mentor, and something amazing begins happening. Without even realizing it, you're developing skills. Chapter 5. The skills you never knew you were building. Most people think this journey is only about finding purpose. It isn't. It's about becoming someone different. When you constantly observe yourself, your observation skills improve. You begin noticing things other people completely ignore. When you connect patterns from your own life, your pattern recognition becomes stronger. You stop looking at life as random events. You start seeing connections. When you question your own thoughts, you become emotionally stronger. Instead of reacting immediately, you pause, you think, you understand, and then you respond. That is emotional intelligence. When you understand what truly matters to you, making decisions becomes easier. Because you're no longer following someone else's definition of success. You're following your own. These skills don't appear overnight. They grow silently, day after day, question after question, reflection after reflection. And one day, you suddenly realize you're not the same person anymore. Chapter 6. Conclusion. At first, this journey looks simple. Just ask yourself a question. Write your thoughts. Find patterns. Talk to yourself. It almost sounds too easy. But if it were easy, why do so many people spend their entire lives chasing happiness without ever finding it? because they spend years trying to improve their life before understanding the person living it. Finding yourself isn't a destination, it's a lifelong journey, even today. I'm still discovering new things about myself, new strengths, new weaknesses, new dreams, and that's the beauty of it. You'll never completely know yourself because you're always growing, you're always changing. So don't rush this process. Don't compare your journey with someone else's. Some people discover themselves in weeks, some take years. Neither is wrong. Just keep asking, keep observing, keep connecting the dots. And above all, believe that every experience in your life happened for a reason. Every success taught you something. Every failure taught you something. Every person you met left a lesson behind. One day, all those pieces will connect. And when they do, you won't just find your purpose, you'll find yourself, because the greatest weapon you'll ever control was never your body, your money, or your knowledge. It was always your mind. And now, for the first time, you know who is holding it. You. If this video changed the way you think, consider subscribing and becoming part of this journey. And if you're someone who loves self-improvement through systems and gamification, I've built an application called Nexus to help people apply these ideas in real life. You can check it out through the link in the description, and if you do, I'd genuinely love to hear your feedback. Until the next video, keep asking the question that most people never do. Who am I?